and then I'll give you a rough taster course of how we think about SEO, how to leverage it in your growth channels, and I'll try to be as helpful as possible in your specific scenarios. Cool. So, bit about background. Oh, we need to change this, but so Alpha Green Group, we've just actually rebranded to Alpha Well Brands. We're a portfolio of brands. We own Europe's largest CBD marketplace. We own 96 North, which is a scented candles brand. It's the #1 scented candles brand in Europe. Sorry, in the US, sorry. We own a couple of media sites, which is Yawns and Petcan. And out of creating these really spectacular brands and propositions, we ended up creating an in-house digital marketing agency called New Optima, which is sort of what we're speaking through to you today. And that basically houses our stellar marketing talent, which really does very good in SEO, Amazon, and email marketing. That's like our really 3 specialist pillars that we're very good at. We're VC backed. We raised around 4 mil and we're profitable as a business. So our group level, we're profitable, which is pretty rare to hear from startups, generally speaking. So myself, I'm the head of growth. Alexi is our CEO. He's on the call as well. And then Victor's our head of SEO. Funny fact, we're all highly technical in some sort of science background. We all went into marketing. So we know where the money is, I guess. And we're really interested in gaming channels and platforms. So this is a bit of a screenshot just to show our authority. We do SEO right, and we do it well for e-com brands, for SaaS, for fintech, even professional services as well that we work into. So we got a wide range of experience, which sort of leads me on to my first question. To everybody, if you don't mind me writing in the chat, but are you guys B2B or B2C? Because that will adapt how I approach the session today. So are you B2B or B2C? B2B, B2B. Sweet. 50-50 split. Okay, there's always a B2B and B2C player. That's interesting. Cool. Awesome. So what I'll do is I'll try and keep it general to both in some regards. If you guys have any questions as I go along, just feel free to drop them in. I'll either pick them up if they fit the timing, or I'll drop them off for later at the end of the session. Cool. So I first want to walk around a real life example of PPC versus SEO and how you can use that to think about when it's the right time to invest in the SEO growth channel. So if we scroll, say there's a wind back to around 2020, there was this boom of Amazon aggregators. And an Amazon aggregator was a startup that basically had acquired a bunch of debt from huge companies and banks to basically acquire Amazon native brands. So they had a lot of money. I think the top aggregator had sort of raised around $1 billion, literally just to acquire other businesses, and they were trying to play this multiple arbitrage game. And because they had loads of VC funding, and the VC funding pumped in the whole industry, entrepreneurs got jealous of each other, and they also started creating their own aggregators. A lot of money flowed into this sector. And suddenly this keyword, FBA aggregators, which was an unknown keyword before the money flowed in, where maybe a click is worth 10 cents, suddenly became worth $5 to $7. And this is because when you have a bunch of VC money coming into an industry, they all have to grow really fast. And that's a function of the terms they've been given by their VC and the sort of arena it creates. So all the billions of pounds that went into this industry, everyone had to grow fast, everyone had to show results. And naturally, the first thing you do as an FBA aggregator who wants to buy other businesses is to literally start bidding on the keyword FBA aggregators and say, hey guys, I buy businesses. And if you look at that keyword, you got the mothership, e-brands, etc. They basically all look the same in my eyes. You could replace that brand name with anything you wanted, and they basically sound the same. So loads of money flowed into the system, and they were spending loads of money to appear for this keyword. And we saw this. We also wanted to acquire brands, and we were in this space already. So we decided to think about it more, like, more long term and more intelligently. So if the competition increases, PPC is auction based. Who's going to win long term? It's definitely not going to be the guy competing for clicks bidding on the PPC. It's going to be the guy who's trying to create an article that's going to rank position one and steal all those clicks for essentially free. So we wrote an article up saying, here's the top 90 FBA aggregators. We placed ourselves second, which we nowhere deserve to be. We wrote that article. It was an amazing article, or listicle. And to this day, we rank number one with a feature snippet. And if we were to be bidding on that keyword, since the time we wrote that article, it would have cost us should actually be over £13,000 now, or $30,000. And every month, aggregators are paying $950 per month just to compete in an arena where we're winning all that traffic for free, or albeit it cost us $300 to write that article. And so when you're thinking, when is it the right time to invest into SEO? It's a great question. It's sort of a function of, do I know who my ICP is? Who is my competition, and what game is the competition playing, and what game am I playing? And you can put it into this lens of customer acquisition cost as a function of time. So if you use any sort of paid advertising model, whether it be Facebook, Google, TikTok, whatever it is, your customer acquisition cost is the cheapest it will ever be today. And as a function of time, it will increase because of multiple things, such as more money pumping in the system, law of shitty click-through, which basically means the effectiveness of your ads dies out over time. Competitors copying you because they see that you have a working ad, so they're just going to copy your ad the same way that you copy everyone else's ad. Everyone's customer acquisition cost increases over time, and the only winners in this scenario are Google, Facebook, like the ad tech platforms. On the other hand, when you consider SEO or any sort of organic channel, your customer acquisition cost is sky high at the beginning. Like it's almost infinite to some degree, because you're putting out a lot of content, you're seeing zero ROI initially. And then as you go along and you start collecting leads and you start collecting sales, your customer acquisition cost asymptotes or tends to zero. So SEO is not a channel where you have to pay for every customer. It's a capital expenditure instead. And so the idea is that for every new customer you acquire via PPC, you actually have to pay more money. And every customer you acquire via SEO or via an organic channel, you pay less money for each time. And that's the beauty and that's the power of organic channels and about SEO. And so when you're thinking about your growth period and when you want to, invest in SEO as a channel, or if it's worth investing into, you really have to consider, am I playing a short-term game or a long-term game? And do I have the money to play the long-term game or not? Does that make sense? Cool. Sweet. And this leads me to my next point, which goes around, okay, I want to do SEO. It's really important, but I need to show revenue numbers for my, for my investors, for whatever reason, you need to show revenue. And this is when this idea of channel layering comes in. Awesome graph I saw on LinkedIn. And it basically says, you can't always fully index on SEO straight away because it's that channel that doesn't give you the potential immediately. As with any sort of organic channel, for example, podcasts, social media, you kind of have to layer and de-risk yourself by doing channels early that don't necessarily scale and are very expensive. For example, YC promotes the idea of founder-led sales right at the beginning. Makes complete sense. It's got huge potential from day one because the founder knows everything about the company. They can sell it. Long term, the yield kind of drops off. It's not that useful for the founder to be selling anymore. But at that time, that's the time when you want your SEO kicking in, so that your sales team are literally getting fed leads, which are high quality, inbound, and are ready to buy. So again, to the wider question, when is it right for SEO? How does SEO fit into your other growth channels? And are you using short-term ones to, satisfy your revenue demands until your SEO or your organic kicks in? Cool. Does that make any sense to everyone here? If you want to just drop a message saying yes, makes sense, or no, I have questions, that'd be very useful. Cool. Yeah, sweet. Thank you, Sam. Rock on, cheers. Awesome. Cool. So that's why SEO founder-led sales for an app is kind of hilarious. Yeah, for sure. So this is for the scenario of when SEO is right. I'm now going to walk into a bit more detail of SEO key metrics, and then going into like ranking factors and the algo and so forth. So I don't know anyone's like sort of SEO knowledge to this date, so I'm going to assume sort of minimal knowledge. There are a bunch of key metrics that you care about. Domain rating is this synthetic metric out of 100. It's used a lot because it's just an easy one to like reference. Like, oh, my domain rating is 29 out of 100. Beyond that, it's not that useful as a metric. It's just easy to know. You have referring domains, which is the number of unique people referencing you on the internet. Organic keywords, which is the number of keywords that your website's appearing for. Organic traffic, which is the main part, that we're all trying to win in an SEO game, is how much traffic or how many people are visiting your website on a monthly basis. And then the final one is, if you paid for every visitor that attended your website via PPC, how much would that be worth from a traffic value perspective? And so this data you can find from a tool like Ahrefs, so Rockwell, yeah, from Ahrefs, or you can find it from Moz or SEMrush. It's freely available in the regards. I think you can find like one on SimilarWeb and you get some trials, but the good data you always have to pay for, generally speaking. And so these are all the key metrics that you would consider, but there are 4 really important ranking factors that you should be always thinking about when you talk about SEO. There's behavioral ranking factors, technical, content, and backlinks. Out of those 4, there's one ranking factor that I personally believe, and our team believes, and we've proven it with our results, that usually actually contributes 80% of the results, and that's content. Only if you have good content will you rank for good keywords, which should get you good traffic. There is no way in hell that you can play the SEO game and have bad content. It's absolutely impossible. There's no way you'd get any traffic. And so ranking for SEO and winning in this game is always, always, always about having great content that you're publishing that attracts the right customer, that appears on Google for the right keywords, and that gets you, leads on autopilot/demand. So that's a bit of theory, and I'm now going to walk through a case study where I show you one of our example sites that we worked on. I'll show you the types of articles we write for them, and I'll show you how their traffic grew over the last few months. So let me stop sharing and then open that up now. Does everyone get the metrics? I assume everyone does. Cool. All right. So I'm showing you a website of a sparkling drink. This drink is called Full. It's one of our clients. Full is a spirulina drink. It's a really interesting proposition because spirulina is not available as a drink format before Full existed. So it's normally a powder or a tablet. So if I Google spirulina, I hope you guys can see my Google. I assume you can. If you Google spirulina, you'll get, when I go to shopping, for example, Google is really preferentially showing me tablets and powders. Like that's like the only format they understand, basically, or that the consumer is Googling for. And so a Full company approached it from the angle where they wanted to create a whole new category. And the category was, we want to create a category of spirulina drinks. And they wanted to own that. They made this really bright blue colored drink, which was stand out on paid social. So it was a paid social first brand. And the ads are running okay. And they wanted to basically get a lot of qualified traffic that was aware of spirulina, but not aware of the drink format. So this is really sort of segmented consumer group. And so what we did for spirulina is we basically, our SEO strategy for them specifically was firstly get them ranking for the keywords they care about, and that was spirulina drink, benefits of spirulina, and the top spirulina formats. So we took a content approach, and can you guys see my slideshow? Yep, cool. Full went from 0 to 40K traffic in 7 months, which is an incredibly fast time. That's not usual by any means. And we did that through a very, very dedicated content approach. They were on, I think we were writing 16,000 words for them a month, which translates to around 10 blog pieces and 3 backlinks a month. So backlinks weren't even a big part of the picture. From a technical point of view, we gave them some technical recommendations, but like 80% of our work was content driven. And if I go to Ahrefs and I look at full company, and I go to top pages, oops, I can now see the types of pages they're ranking number 1 for. So they're ranking position 1 for can you drink chlorophyll, weight loss detox drink, hangover recovery drink, post-workout drink, coffee alternative for energy, their brand name, of course, antioxidant drinks, cholera versus spirulina. So they're ranking for a bunch of keywords that are really interesting, and especially this keyword, which is best spirulina brand. So let's look on that for a second. So if I Google best spirulina brand, and bear in mind, this is a brand that didn't exist 8 months ago. They are ranking number 2 for the 12 best spirulina brands. So they get to define the category at this point in time. So if I Google, I click on that one. I think they're going through a bit of a UX UI redesign, but they basically are able to put their products front and center for a keyword where the consumer is, let's say, very high intent to buy. They just want to choose their option. And they're able to now educate the consumer that there is a drink that exists beyond, the other players which are presenting powders or tablets. And then this page prints them money. It's incredibly useful for them, and they are getting on demand, 657 people to visit that site on demand all the time and on a free basis. And it's an amazing use of SEO. So they got from 0 to 40K in 7 months across a wide range of sort of top funnel and bottom funnel traffic. And there were a lot of keywords I showed you, and it's really interesting what keywords we choose, because there are an infinite number of keywords I can choose. And it's always this function of what are the keywords that the ideal customer of full uses, what's that keyword search volume, and what's that keyword difficulty. And that kind of dictates to you, is the effort to write that article worth the cost of writing it? And even if I do write it and it ranks in position 1, does it attract the right person to the website? And so we do this exercise each time, and we do it through a methodology called keyword clustering. We ran an SEO accelerator about a month ago, which was a full session webinar. And we asked a bunch of SEO aware people, like people that do SEO for their business, like, do you guys use keyword clustering? And 70% said no, which is like a huge shock. And I'll tell you why it's a huge shock. Pages don't rank for singular keywords. They rank for a bunch of keywords. So, for example, that page of 12 best spirulina brands doesn't only rank for, that keyword of best spirulina brands. It ranks for hundreds of pages. If I go on to that one, for example, that page ranks for 145 keywords. And those keywords are, let it come up, best spirulina brand, best spirulina supplements, safe spirulina brands, best spirulina powder, best organic spirulina. Like, this is showing that there's more than just one keyword for one page. There's like a collection of keywords for a singular page. And that's why it's really important to take into account keyword clustering when you are making your keyword lists. So again, traditional SEO agencies will download a keyword list from one of these tools and say, choose what's valuable to you. That's like the most horrendous way to do it. You have to go through these keyword lists and create semantically similar keyword clusters and say, take, let's say, 173 target keywords and then cluster them into topics, and then create content pieces around them. So we, for example, we were focusing on the spirulina drink core keyword that we wanted to rank for. And so we wrote articles around antioxidant drinks, healthy soft drinks, best morning drinks, hangover drinks, all of which have some overlap with their ICP, with their ICP's desire to, purchase a spirulina drink or become aware of it, or it features their benefits. For example, best morning drinks, the type of person that's searching that would probably want to have spirulina. And if we can retarget them with a Facebook ad that then presented that opportunity to them in a really good way, that's a very likely conversion we can have. So this is how we go from keywords, thinking about the ICP, into a cluster, and then into singular topics. If you do it this way, you are able to boost your topical authority and essentially rank for a bunch of keywords really, really quickly and have growth that looks like this. And these upward curves are amazing for several reasons. One, it makes you money, but two, that's super sexy for a VC. That's super sexy for anyone you're trying to raise money from. They really want to see an upward hockey stick. And this is what that strategy gives you. Cool. How does that make sense for everyone so far? Do you have any questions at the moment? Cool.
There is one from that on the chat that says, "How do you get backlinks?"
How do you get backlinks? So backlinks are really interesting in the sense that, as I mentioned, they only contribute a small amount to ranking factor. We have a bunch of case studies though where we've shown that you can put some backlinks to a page and it will just fly up the rankings. You get backlinks in two ways. One, you attract them naturally because you have an amazing article, and I'll show you an example. So if I were to say, let me look at, so if I look at the best spirulina brand, that page, we built no backlinks to it, but it has one backlink. Let me find another one. Okay, this is an interesting one. So how often should I drink chlorophyll water is a blog we published. We didn't push any backlinks to it, but now it has 8 backlinks from 7 referring domains. I don't know who these referring domains are. They have seen us in position 1, and when they wanted to reference an authority, they were like, oh, if they want to maybe make a quote about drinking chlorophyll, they might go, and Fool said this, and they might quote speech mark us and put that in there. And that's a backlink. And that's the best form of backlinks because it's natural. Because we rank position 1, people naturally see us as an authority now, and they will naturally refer to us as an authority too. So if I go on referring domains, I can see, again, I've never seen this list before. Okay, so pretty good list of flipping.com, BuzzRush, DR60, DR72. These are good websites. West Wales Chronicle apparently referenced us. Fair enough. Don't know why. Chlorophyll was the hottest wellness ingredient. So this is a really good backlink that we didn't actually have to pay for. Now, on the other side, you can pay for backlinks, and that's when you approach websites and saying, oh, can I write a post on your website? And they go, yeah, cool. And you write that post and you insert a natural link back to yours. These are paid for. They can be effective. It's just a function of choosing the right ones and making sure it's relevant to your niche. Like the last thing you want to do is have a backlink from someone that's completely irrelevant from you. Google operates as this idea of sort of third-party validation, where the more people that say you're an amazing brand or you're an amazing app, the better you're an amazing app. They don't believe if you say it. So it's all about third-party validation in the algorithm. I hope that answered your question, guest. Rocco, does SEO work best when demand generation isn't required? For example, if you have a product in a new category that people aren't searching for, how would you approach SEO? Yeah, really interesting question. So if you're doing demand, so I've heard a lot of stuff about demand gen. If you're creating an entirely new category, it can be difficult to do SEO because let's say that category doesn't exist yet and people don't have that search volume for that specific product. But if you go higher up and higher up the funnel, you will begin to capture who your potential customer might be. So for example, say you have, I don't know, a healthcare app for, I don't know, allergy medicines that can send it to you on demand. Maybe people don't know this exists and they wouldn't Google for that, but they might be Googling for allergy medicine, like that one level higher, or they might be Googling for healthcare app. And then you can capture the consumer on that level and then bring them in and educate them to get to your product level. So this is the same thing with full. The spirulina drink keyword is not very relevant for them. It's currently like a bunch of full of smoothies right now. But we're taking an education first approach on all the other top funnel keywords to sort of indoctrinate the audience the idea that you can have a drink as a format. But SEO is really good at sort of capturing demand. So if you are creating demand on other platforms, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, if you run Google Ads or you run SEO tactics, you will naturally see really good ROI because you're basically hoovering up all this demand you created and making sure no one steals the demand you created. It's super easy to steal demand that other people have created. I've done it so many times before. For example, I've had competitors running TV ads. I would then run an ad on like the main tagline of the TV ad and just steal all their customers. It was very, very easy. And that's why when you create demand, you have to work hard to keep it and attract it and capture it for yourself and not let anyone else take it. Cool. How would you approach a very specific and niche B2B area where vendor websites are only reference points? In other words, you will not look for space parts for aircraft engines on Google. I assume doing PPC in this case is not relevant. Some people might look for space parts for engines, but I get your question. There are some niches where the volume is so low, and the request is so particular, it might not be worth doing SEO in that scenario. It might not be a good channel for you. Let's have that's where the sort of the SEO research comes in. So we could just, for example, go spare parts, airplane. I don't know. Airplane, spare parts, suppliers. Like there is some search volume behind it. It's pretty small. But yeah, I get the question. You could also argue that this volume is super small, but the people Googling it are very, very qualified. As in, like, only some sort of person would Google this and they probably have buying power. So that's a question you have to start debating. Is it worth me trying to fight for that keyword? So let me search spare parts, aircraft engine, aircraft engine. Someone's being for the keyword. International aircrafts, spare parts. I think people are doing this play, probably not very aggressively, given that there is such a small search volume for it. Cool. I'm going to go to the last slide, which was about how you convert all this traffic to buying traffic. A lot of the time when you do have blog traffic, it's only converting at say 0.5%, 1% into an email, for example. And you need to find ways to help direct the consumer down your funnel. And you can do this in multiple ways. For this e-commerce brand in particular, we did native content conversion blocks, which means in the content piece, we have these conversion blocks and say like, yeah, try this drink out. And we're putting the product in their face so they can see that we exist. We did contextual pop-ups, for example, on a page about hangovers. We had a pop-up saying, hey, here's how you can fight your hangover. Some people will click that. And we were sending all this traffic to our product page from our blog page. So we were sort of creating a customer journey. And we can see the result of that, like, flying upwards as soon as you made these pop-ups. And as a result, you signal to Google that the people who are going to this blog page are really interested in the product page. And what it does is it pushes everything up the rankings because you increase the behavioral sort of intent internally on the site. So when we did this, we pushed up in the spirulina drinks ranking. We went #1 in best spirulina brand, top spirulina brands, best spirulina. I think we're now page 2 for spirulina keyword, which has a huge amount of search volume. I think if I go to Ahrefs, I sign in and I search spirulina. This is like the big keyword we want to rank for, and it will take some time to get there. There's 137,000 search volume in the US. In the UK, it's a lot less. I think it's around 35K. Bear in mind that the full company website's on 40K search traffic, so one keyword would double its traffic overnight. So we're pushing on for that, and it's nearly coming into page one. Cool. What would be the best strategy to compete with big brands that spend $1,000 in ads, have strong SEO, and display in the first page? Yeah, super difficult scenario, right? Like you have an incumbent that completely owns the market. There are ways you can beat them in PPC and beat them in SEO. For example, you can beat them in PPC by bidding for the traffic at times when their budget runs out. So, for example, a lot of tactical plays that are made when you start bidding for traffic at, say, midnight to 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., you can pick up some traffic there for relatively cheap costs. If they have strong SEO, there are still opportunities to win. Big players always leave, and every player always leaves like new search terms behind. I think Google said that 20% of their searches every day are new, like they've never seen that search request before. So you can go for long tail keywords. For example, you can consider Canva. Canva is a complete beast in an SEO perspective. So look at canva.com. Canva have, oh my God, I need to like log out my, go to a different platform. Canva has, okay, let me quickly log into my different platform. 1 second. Cool. So Canva.com have 300 people working on their SEO function internally, which is absolutely crazy. And they have 98.6 million organic search traffic. These guys are a beast, but they will leave behind keywords that are approachable. For example, their competitors will create articles such as Canva versus alternative solution, or Canva is not doing XYZ, and they can target this, the pain point consumer that's like not getting the right delivery out of Canva. The second thing is you can start thinking, what other terms is my ICP Googling that my competitor's not picking up on? And this is also similar for Olga's question about, there are a bunch of keywords that your ICP might be Googling, which might be slightly outside your product focus, but you can still capture their awareness at that point and then educate them about what you can do. So there are a bunch of answers to that question, but there is always opportunity left behind. It's just harder to find it. Cool. I've wrapped up my presentation, so I'm happy to answer questions and talk about SEO in a bit more detail. And I also have Victor on call who, can answer a lot of SEO questions too. Can we hire you? Yeah, I didn't even do a pitch this time. We're an agency, so we can. So we're an agency arm. We service around 25 clients now in the SaaS space, fintech, e-com, B2B, B2C. I'll drop my email in here. Just feel free to email me if you're interested in any sort of like SEO services or you want to talk shop. We have we have one client space left for September, and then we hit capacity, and then we have to go in a hiring spree again. So that's sort of our limit there. Cool.
Thank you, Aman.
Awesome. Sweet. Does anyone have their websites they want to send to the chat, for example? There we go. Cheers, Mesmerize app. Sweet. Let's have a quick share together. So this is going to be completely on the fly, so I hope it's not completely all wrong. Well, Victor, are you there, Victor?
Yes. Yes.
Do you want to do these case studies? You can like run through some ones, just give like quick commentary on each site.
Sure.
Cool. Let me stop sharing, and then I don't know if you can. Victor, do you want to share screen?
Yeah, 1 second.
So yeah, everyone, feel free to send your sites in, and we can have a look at them. Sweet. There we go. Got some more. Go on the policy and practice.
You can see my screen now, yes?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
You have a quick, oh, you have your camera on now. Yeah, all good. Cool.
So yeah, let's start with the first one, and I'll be like walking you through what I usually looking when I'm checking like briefly website. So this one is obviously brand new, almost no organic keywords because everything less than at least 500 is close to nothing. But we have a lot of referent domains, like much more referent domains than organic keywords, and pretty decent DR. So maybe there was some PR activities, but definitely there is no any SEO activities, because if you're doing at least some SEO, you will have at least like 1,000 keywords with this DR. So probably you don't have pages to rank. And if I will go to top pages, I never saw that website. And yeah, you don't have a pages to rank because you have just 3 pages. So what you need to do is what I would do with this website. We will do like proper research to understand what customers we need to acquire with for that business. We will create a content strategy around keywords, what people looking for who might be interested in your business, and create a lot of landing pages, internal, like write content and create landing pages, and optimize that landing pages to attract your customers. And after like a few months in this page, like top pages, we will be able to see like 20, 30 different pages. And over there, at the amount of organic keywords, it will be like increasing every day. And in a few months, it can be like 1,000. So that's like brief overview of this website. What you need to do, you need to create a lot of content. You need to create a content plan. You need to create a lot of content, and you need to create landing pages and optimize them. And probably for a few months, you can forget about backlinks because you have pretty decent DR. For example, with New Optimum website, we have about the same DR, domain rate, and like a little bit more, but we have 16,000 keywords. We're growing pretty fast, and we have pretty decent traffic already. And that's like how we're growing right now. So yeah, let's go to another one. Just the next one. This one, as I understand, yes.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because we have some ranking. Let's check what's website about. Oh, another app. That's cool. So we have a blog, so somebody writing a content. That's good, but straight away from a content side, I believe with content like that, we will be able to see that only small part of content performing good. And let's check, am I right? Top pages. And like some articles have some traffic. Almost all traffic go into this article. And from like, if we will pass first 30 articles, almost all of them don't give you any traffic at all. So, and I can see why, because this, for example, this article obviously is not optimizing for some search queries. So with this website, you have some pretty decent amount of backlinks. You have pretty decent domain rating. You have some pages to rank. And that's why you have already some traffic. But you need to like concentrate more about website structure, do proper keyword research, and create keyword clusters and write content only for like that specific keyword cluster, because obviously you have a lot of content which is not relevant for any keyword clusters. So you're kind of wasting time on writing content which will never end. And also I can see you have subdomains. And if you will combine subdomains on a one domain, you will like get all backlinks on one domain, and you will be able to build like one super strong domain and grow faster. And we had a pretty cool case study. We've done like that like literally 1 month ago. We combined several domains of one brand, and we got growth charts like that. So like it's amazing. Let's go to the next one.
That's a really interesting one, because
Thank you very much.
I would say Go Shortly has like huge growth potential from an SEO perspective. Just looking at that, like that could easily like double or triple that organic traffic without much work.
Yeah, I think with that website, which we had a talk about like 5 minutes ago, it could be like doubled in 3-4 months, because obviously pretty good domain rate and pretty good amount of backlinks. Change website structure, update old content, write new content for specific keyword clusters, and I can see how it can double pretty fast. And if it's like VC-based app or something like that, that could be super interesting channel for growth.
Cool.
So let's talk about next one.
Another cool one.
Yeah, and another interesting website, because the same, I can see like straight away I can see opportunity when I see disproportion in amount of referent domains, domain rating, amount of organic keywords, and organic traffic. So with this kind of like, it's pretty strong domain, and with domains that strong, you can get more, like you deserve more. And you don't have more, not because like injustice, but because you don't have specific pages to get your traffic. Like our strategy is based on like we doing, as Aman said before, we doing that keyword research, and we do keyword clusters, and we like literally making pages which printing money for us and for other businesses, because they attract like pretty decent traffic. So let's check what's this website about. Definitely need to update some interface and design, because like yeah, and you can even improve like some behavioral factors. So with this website, pretty same situation to website before. You have some amount of content already, so that's why you have some traffic already. Good job on March 2022, it's increased. But the same situation, because you have almost all traffic going to just a few pages, and I believe this page about coronavirus is not really giving you a lot of money, and there is like half of your keywords are going to this one page. Maybe it's like super important, because I don't have like time to dive deeper into your business, but I believe almost all your traffic is not like giving you a benefit at the end of the day. So yeah, that's another interesting project, because obviously you already have a lot of backlinks, a lot of content, but it's not optimized. And like I can see potential there, because almost all your pages, as you can see, don't give you any traffic. Like one visitor a month, it's like just zero. Yeah. So wrong one.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. There's a lot of pages, good backlinks, but there's like money being left on the table for sure.
With some projects, I can say straight away, like that's tough situation, and I don't see potential there. with this one, we also have it's the biggest domain region from today, and a lot of reference domains, like much more than we have. Pretty decent traffic. So somebody have done a good job already on this website. Funny that you lost a lot of ranking and traffic in I believe it's Google Core update in December 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but maybe you lost a lot of keywords, but not a lot of keywords from first page. So maybe it was not a huge deal. So need to dive deeper. But with this website, situation is good, except it does not work right now. So that's you could improve a little bit.
It's a shame.
Yeah, so yeah, I can see it right now. Maybe you need to like check your developers team. But let's go to top pages.
I think it's your Safari actually, because I was working on my one. But they do retail choreography, so I think they link up tech to people that walk into retail stores, I think, or like click and collect systems, walk-in virtual queues. Like ecom meets tech, I guess, is a.
I think it's still good to be able to load it from Safari. The same situation with the subdomain. We can check like how subdomain is performing.
Yeah. For context for everyone else, like the subdomain is when you have like word.domain. Usually it happens because of some tech requirement, means you need to have a subdomain. There are always ways to work around it. And the subdomain is really bad because it effectively is a separate domain to Google. Google doesn't see it under the same domain. It kind of like literally splits your domain in 2 or into 3 or whatever, which means all that backlink juice and all the SEO juice you work really hard on gets divided. And so it's like you're now working on 2 sites, not 1 site. So we're always of the opinion to avoid subdomains at all costs, unless there's a very specific business reason for it. And even then, it's like one to debate quite heavily.
So with this website, probably we need to work on the technical side. Probably we can, because when you already have a lot of content, a lot of traffic, it's kind of, you can move it faster. So everything you can change will have bigger effect immediately. So the hardest thing in the world with SEO is working with a brand new website with 0 pages and zero backlinks. But with the websites like that, which is huge, sometimes you can, for example, this broken backlinks, you have 88 backlinks from very good websites, and like to acquire backlink like that, it will cost you, I don't know, like sometimes like $1,000, because it is pretty decent. But you just lost them because you delayed page like where that backlink is pointing, and by just creating 301 redirect from this like deleted page to a relevant one, you can like gain back your backlink authority. So that's one. Another one is just to technically optimize this website. I believe there is a lot of, usually the older website and the bigger website is, the more room for technical optimization you have. So schema org, page speed, FAQ section on the pages, internal linking, some like UX and interfaces, all of that can make a huge difference. And this project should be, probably if we will start work with project like that, technical bits will be more important in the first 2 months, not like a content part. Content part is still important, but you have already a lot of content, and a technical base is like super important. Baby to body.
We're seeing good sites today.
Yeah, because like
We're seeing good sites.
and it's not super exciting to acquire a client with like 0 domains, 0 domain rating, and 0 organic keywords, because you will see at first results like in 3 or 4 months. But with websites like that, it's usually very interesting to start, because that's a space where you can find something super interesting which like nobody saw, but you saw it, and like make that changes and see like that spike in traffic. And with this website, probably you had a good job in terms of search engine optimization till March, and till summer you just loosen a little bit, or like flat. What else? Funny situation with the backlinks, probably some black hat. Like obviously it's not like natural backlinks. Maybe somebody was trying to optimize, like make black hat SEO at 2015, but 2015 was a year of black hat, so that's okay. Definitely you will have some broken backlinks. Yes, 64 of them with pretty decent domain rate, and so the same like 301 redirects over there. And what that's another app.
It was.
We have a webinar for apps.
Caitlin confirmed it was some black hat going on. That's funny.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah.
But it was like time for black hat.
Yeah. It's definitely funny because Victor's got literally 15 years of experience in the SEO game, so it's like tapping into this encyclopedia occasionally where these random facts come out. Like 2015 was the year of black hat. Just never knew that.
Yeah. It was like a last year of black hat, so every like for this website, like straight away, we definitely know that CTR for blogs at the start much more than CTR for blogs at the end, and you have like offer like money block after recent, like after like read next, relevant pages, whatever. Definitely need to move this block over there, because nobody is reading like after this point. Like people just close page when they somewhere there and they never saw your offer. And you even have you even can like put another block over there, but it should be like tested. Probably good place for conversion optimization. We usually prefer to start our article with key points and end our articles with FAQ section. So you can just analyze your positions, for example, and like sort it by article, like download it and sort it by article and find where you have a lot of positions on like second and third page, and make a list of articles which already have a lot of positions on a second and a third page, and then create a task for content writer to add FAQ section for every article. But you need to do keyword research before you will do FAQ section, because you need to win that long tail keywords as well, and add some FAQ section and add some key points section, and maybe like refresh it a little bit. If it will be like old, probably you have a lot of old articles. For example, like if it will be like 2015, you probably can update it and change the date to a current one. And by doing that, you will be able to move a lot of keywords from second page to page one. And with the backlink, the same situation. You can find a lot of keywords with pretty decent search volume on a position, for example, 12, 15. And just by moving from position 12 to position 9, it's not a big difference, but difference in traffic is huge because nobody is looking for a second page in Google. So yeah, with this website, updating existing content, maybe sometimes you have a few articles which are not performed at all, but combining them into one article and doing 3 or 1 redirect, you will be able to create like one really good article. Because in 2012, 2015, requirements for a content was totally different, and probably you have a lot of content which was written like 5, 7, 10 years ago, and that content just too small to rank, because average size for the article 5, 7 years ago was 2, 3 times smaller. And just by finding all that articles which not give you any traffic and combining them to one good article, which relevant for some keyword clusters, you will be able to rank more for much more keywords without writing any new content. And also, like on a technical side, probably you can. And you have subdomain as well, but not a big deal because, as I understand, it's like a small part of website. Should we go for more?
Yeah, I think we're out of time, but we don't mind staying on to do a couple more. Sandra.
We could just do one more, and then I'd say carry on with the presentation.
Cool. Yeah, there is no more presentation anyway, so we could just do the last 2, I guess.
Well, have you finished your presentation? Oh, okay, then yeah, then I'd say carry on with the 2 more. I don't. Yeah, cool. I think we only have 2 more, I believe.
Yeah, I need 2 more.
Damien and C-Sense. Yes. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Oh, this is interesting.
We officially have like a webinar for apps, definitely, because it's like that's another app, as I understand.
Yeah.
And this situation, when you have domain rating 60, when you have 600 referent domains and your traffic value is $200, is absurd. And straight away, keyword clusters, keyword research, content clusters, and creating a lot of pages. I can bet that you can just publish perfect page on this website, wait a few days after it will be indexed, and you will be like, if you will be checking in the Google Search Console, you will have new and new keywords like every day, like literally every day you check in and you have like more and more keywords for that specific article. And this situation will happen with 80% of your articles if they made good enough. And the funny fact that when we acquire new clients, 100% of them have an objection that we will not be able to write good enough content. And we understand why people have that objection, because usually SEO agencies, like historically, writing low quality content with keywords, stuffing, and all that stuff. But that just simply don't work in 2022. And we were forced by Google algorithms to work really hard on the content side. And at the end of the day, we deliver like much better content than our clients usually expect. And we have another model where we create a content plan and like send to content team for like our clients' content team. And like funny facts that there was 0 times where a client were able to create content like good enough, matching our standards and like good amount of content. So it sounds easy just to write a lot of content. Like for this website, general strategy is like write a lot of content. But from practice, we understand that usually clients just cannot deliver as high quality enough and good amount of content like in the same time. And sometimes we had that fintech client with the same model, and we just upsell them content package, because in 3 months they were able to deliver only 4 articles, and that's our we deliver 4 articles every 5 days or something like that, and they've done that in 3 months. So let's check top pages. Yeah, there is categories, products, homepage, author. That's the great domain, and you don't have pages to rank, and you have subdomains, all that. But subdomains is not a huge deal, and your most important page is a subdomain page. So yeah, that's kind of strange. But when and some strange subdomain a dot. So with this project, really good proper keyword research, keyword clusters, creating content, publishing pages, and it will be growing really fast. If you want to start with us, I probably we probably can see another good case study. Yeah. So what? One more or?
Let's do 2 more. So there's going to be let's do C-Sense, and then we'll do I don't know how to pronounce it. Piziz.
Yeah, let's do this one.
Cheers, Caitlin. Lovely meeting.
Oh,
that's weird, isn't it?
You can see that
something's what's going on there.
I believe the website is just not indexed at all. You can, by the way, you can check is website indexed or not with site 2 dots. And why it's not indexed? Because somebody was trying to do something smart, but all that is useless, and the person who've done that is not 2010, so you don't need to do that. But okay, let's check no index tag. So there is no index tag. There is no in a robots.txt. We need to do some. I cannot say straight away, but we to be able to answer why we don't have any rankings right now. I need Google Search Console access, and you can, if you have Google Search Console access, obviously you have if you are an owner, you need to pick any page, just any internal page, for example, this one, and then take this page, go to your Google Search Console, and for example, type it into a bar and check it. And after that, it will show if is it possible to index or not. And if it's not possible to index, it will say why it's not possible. So with this website, you already, as I can see, have a lot of content, and you are in a very dangerous position because your website is not indexed, but anybody who will find out, even people from this webinar, you can literally download whole website, publish on another domain, get it indexed super fast, and you will lose rights to use all your content because it will be published on a third-party website when it's not indexed on your website. You understand? You're in the super dangerous situation, and probably you need to fix it super fast. Go to Google Search Console and fix it.
Okay.
Find out why it's not indexed.
Feel free to drop us an email if you need a hand. This is
yeah.
I think we're happy to help here and just save you.
Sounds like something has gone really wrong there. So really, that'd be helpful.
It's your website, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, you're in a dangerous situation because a lot of black hat guys searching for websites like that, and they can there's a software like Parser. I'm not sure I pronounce it right, but there is a software like Parser to just download your website and publish it on some another domain and just use your content.
Okay. All right. I didn't know about this, so I'm really glad I joined the call today then.
Yeah. And we have pizza.com.
Yeah, last one.
Pizza website.
I think it's an app. Is it a pizza app? There you go.
1 second. Yeah, another app. How did you make a list of people who attend the? So with this website, we have much. There is a first website from today, which has almost 0 referent domains and 0 domain region, 12, but it's close to 0. And over there, we need to aim for 9 months at least to see decent results. And
sorry to interrupt. I think he said to use .com rather than .co.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Good shot. Thank you. There we go.
One more app. No?
Sleep at the push of a button.
You have redirect from .co to .com. Understand. The same stuff, pretty decent. A lot of referent domains, a lot of domain region. You deserve much more traffic, and sleep in niche is huge because there is a lot of people looking about sleeping, and a lot of questions about that. For example, how to sleep faster. Probably it's your clients who are looking for sleep at the push of a button. Definitely all that people how to sleep faster, how long you can sleep, and all that keywords with total volume 4.4 million. And probably you can find even more keywords are a huge part of these people who are looking for these keywords are maybe interested in your application. And you have some ranking, but you deserve much more because in this niche, there is a lot of traffic. And with websites with domain ratings like that, and this amount of referent domains, you have a huge history. I can see your history from 2013. You already were there. And for the last a year, half a year, you're just losing traffic and losing amount of keywords on the first page. So since February, you lost 60% of your organic keywords on the first page, and 60% of keywords, maybe even more, on the top 3, and lost some traffic, maybe almost half of your traffic. Probably you have that problems that every old website have. You probably have a lot of pages which don't bring you traffic at all. So you need to go through your old pages, and if your page is not giving you any traffic, you need to like rebuild it, optimize, or upgrade somehow to optimize for certain keywords. And you can just write more and more content just forever in this niche, because this niche is super huge. Like you literally have 2.8 million keywords, which contains word sleep. And like if I will put sleep in, it will be 1.2 extra keywords, and so you can imagine how big is this niche. Yeah, like you need to write a lot of content, and you need to rebuild your structure and do something with your old pages which not bring you any traffic right now. Probably you need to update your old pages with some like key points, FAQ sections. Like you also can go through your old pages and find what pages have a lot of keywords on the second, third page, and add FAQ section, add key points, and change date to recent, because you updated an article. And just by doing that, you will be able to move like keywords from a second page to first and gain much more traffic. But you need to write a lot of new articles as well.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cheers, Rockwell. I've seen like Lunar app. I know they were doing decent in growth as well as a similar sleep app, but they're not doing very well on SEO, so they've left that channel, available for you, let's say. Awesome. Like that was awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that was valuable for everyone. Sandra, I think we're happy to do this like last section again for like your community, because I feel like this is probably the biggest value they got from everyone. So we could like run this again at some point, just with the analysis of each person's site.
Cool. Yeah, that was super insightful. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. And I will be sending everyone the recording. And if you can send me the slides, that would be great if they want to look through that.
Sure.
And then, I'll drop everyone an email with your email address if they want to get in touch with you.
Yeah, and in terms of like additional value and slides and all that stuff, I think maybe it will be useful to, like, we publish a lot of interesting results, case studies, and ideas in the LinkedIn. So probably we can share that as well.
Yeah, if you send me, when you send me the slides with everything on there, I would share with the rest of all the attendees today and everyone that's registered, and that were not able to join, they can look at the video. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you everyone for today.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely evening.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.